Hello my friends, again from Jadida in Morocco, and I think I need to record and upload one more emergency video for you my friends, while showing you a few more sights of this nice Moroccan city. I see at least two reasons why I think I should make this video as well. One reason is to say thank you my friends, and another reason was that I was thinking, it never occurred to me at the beginning, but then I thought it probably would be a bit rude from my side if I made the last video and then I don't let you know anything after that. Like, imagine that guy is uploading a video where he says he haven't eaten for 5 days and then you never hear from him again. Wouldn't be too nice from my side, I guess. If anyone cares at all. You showed that you do, so I have to make one more video. So my friends, what has happened? First, just to get that out of the way, I am eating again. And I'm quite alive, as you can see, or hear, or feel, or whatever. But what happened, my friends? I don't know how to tell it and how to express it even. You are just amazing, my friends. I didn't expect that. Seriously, I didn't expect. That was something crazy. As soon as I uploaded my last video, who haven't seen it, feel free to scroll back and see the previous video before this one. As soon as I uploaded that, you started to reach out and send help. I don't know, it's something I didn't expect. Thank you, my friends. Like, usually I feel that I have no problems of expressing myself in words, even in such a foreign language as English usually. But there are some times when I kind of feel out of words, and this is one of those times. This is the theater, by the way, the local one. But yeah, this is one of the moments when I am out of words. I don't know. What can I say and how can I express? Thank you, friends. Thank you. Like, I can tell you what happened. The first man was one man from United States. I never knew him. He never knew me, except that he was watching the videos which I upload on YouTube. And he sent me 22 euros on PayPal. And that was the first moment where I was able to buy more gigabytes for my mobile data, so that I can be sure that I don't run out of internet and I can still keep working and looking for jobs and so on. And I could buy rice. And I was able to start to eat again. And it was such a crazy experience. Like, maybe some of you are laughing now, like, what's 22 euros? What are you talking about? Oh guys, I cannot tell you how much can be 22 euros for you in such circumstances. Like, it wasn't too long ago when my kind of typical turnover was, I don't remember even, something like 12,000 per month in euros, something around that. It wasn't too long ago when I saw in my bank account such numbers as 85,000 euros or something. So I kind of still remember those times. But now I was in a situation where 22 euros sent from a friend whom I never seen and who has never seen me was such a huge game changer. That's crazy. I don't know how to explain it. Thank you my friend, if you're listening to me now. You probably are. thank you. And then another friend from UK, and then another friend from Australia, and then another friend from Germany. Wow, guys, you are, I don't know, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being in this world. It means so much to me to know that there are such people as you in this world. Wow, wow, wow. I don't know, what can I say? Probably nothing. I can't say much. Like nothing I can say will say it, what happened. Thank you, friends. Really thank you. I'm so grateful to have you. Even though I haven't seen even one of them in face. But I was also thinking, who knows, one day we might meet. As I am traveling around this world, hopefully in future as well, and as you might maybe be going somewhere, who knows, maybe we have a possibility to meet one day and to see each other face to face as well. And who knows, maybe even more people than just you four. So yeah, friends, I'm eating again, I'm well and alive. Thank you for that. But at the same time, it's interesting that my struggle with landing some orders or jobs or whatever, how I could earn my money in a normal way, I'm still struggling and fighting. So obviously that lesson hasn't ended yet. I'm not through it there. It's really strange. It's a thing. When I see how these things happen, I have no doubt that God is teaching me something through that. Because no logic can explain how can that be. Like literally, I have been applying for all kinds of possibilities without any selectivity almost. Anything which I could do and which could potentially be suitable for me in my situation. I'm applying and I'm doing it till, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning late night with red eyes, tired like crazy, but I keep going. And I can't even count how many more these days I have done. And still zero. Still nothing. I get some replies, some further discussions. They all, for some reason, somehow strongly end. So obviously there is still some more lessons for me to learn. I need to discover what. So yeah, the journey and the experience is continuing. It's not yet the back to normal situation. I have to learn something, obviously. But thank you, friends, for being with me in this moment. And also, I kind of feel led to share with you one more thing, which is kind of a thing which I usually don't share in such a public space as YouTube, because it's a bit personal. But in this situation, I kind of see that it might be beneficial for many of you. There is one thing, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not pretending I know and understand everything what I'm going through now. Of course I don't. I'm inside that process still. I'm not through on the other side yet. So I'm in the process and I don't have that benefit of hindsight yet. After some time I will see much better and differently probably what happened during these days. But there is one thing which I think I can already share with you, which I like to think that I kind of understood already. There is something going on interesting. And that it is something I wouldn't hesitate even to say something with the quality of healing going on in my life through this experience. And with this experience I mean that I wasn't able to earn the money myself. You guys helped me out and you brought me through in this moment. And this was a healing which has happened through my life through different stages, through many years. The whole thing started with something which some of you probably already know. If you watched my Bendery video from Pridnestrovye or Transnistria, if you didn't, feel free to scroll back and see it, maybe it will be interesting for you. Those who saw it, you know that I was unlucky enough to be born in Soviet Union. These were the last decade of the Soviet Union, so it was already much freer. I can't compare it with Stalin's years, but nevertheless it would be very far to say that that was a bright place to be born in. That's why I'm sometimes laughing that if you have been born in Soviet Union and brought up in the 90s in the post-Soviet area of that chaos and lawlessness what was there, in that case, no matter how bad things can happen to you in life, everything will be only better from that point on. So yeah, I kind of feel like that still. So I was born in Soviet Union. Like any totalitarian, authoritarian, communistic and that kind of situation, it's probably the worst place where you can be born. Which cripples people and their psyche so much that people who haven't experienced it, they can't even understand what it is and how damaging it is to a human person. And then there were 1990s in Latvia, where I grew up, which was a complete disaster, chaos, lawlessness, criminality, alcoholism, hopelessness, joblessness, like all those kind of things which filled the area where I was growing up. And you can probably kind of imagine, I think, that in such environment the village where I grew up and the school where I went to wasn't exactly the most healthiest places to be in for a child. I don't want to tell you too much because then I would be exalting evil too much, which I don't want to do. But I can maybe just tell you that I have studied for years in Ireland as well, later in my life. And when I when I heard how people are dealing with issue of bullying in Irish college, what I saw around me, I'm kind of half laughing, half smiling now, but don't get me wrong, not because I would say that bullying is okay, of course it's not okay. And I do appreciate that they really try to eradicate bullying so much, and it's good. I'm for it, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, when I saw that, I felt like, how to say it, like a survivor of a concentration camp, which is now witnessing how an inmate of today's modern Europe's prison is making a protest and signing an escalation letter or whatever you call it, because after 9 years of prison where everything was perfectly fine, this morning a sudden tragedy happened to his life. His egg in a breakfast wasn't cooked exactly perfectly as he liked it. It was cooked well, but it wasn't perfectly as he liked it. And now he has such a trauma because of that experience, and his feelings are so hurt that he needs 3 years of free counseling to get to deal with that problem now. And imagine how this concentration camp survivor might feel listening to this. Like, what? You have a whole egg all to yourself, and the 50 other guys didn't even beat you up because they wanted to take it from you. What a good life are you having there, mate. That kind of feeling I had when I saw how in Ireland they are dealing with bullying. What a good life do you have there. When we grew up, we we went through a little bit different environment, to say it softly. I'm talking a bit long, but I kind of wanted to give you some rough impression of what I'm talking about, without telling too much detail, and without exalting evil and evil doings too much. So, why I am talking about that? I wanted to tell you about that healing. The result of this kind of childhood, dangerous, unprotected, full of fear, misery, and all kinds of humiliation and torture and all those kind of stuff. When I grew up with understanding, unfortunately, that humans are dangerous. Humans are the source of all evil, and they are the danger. Like, I felt good in nature, in forest, when I was fishing deep, far away from all human beings, somewhere in the forest street. I felt good there and safe there, because nature is fair, nature is predictable, nature is where you can more or less feel safe in yourself. But as long as there is one human being, there is a risk. In best case, it's risk of just being bullied, humiliated. In with worst case, it is risk of being things stolen from you or robbed. And in the worst case, as often happened, was that you might be beaten up or worse. And this kind of thinking I had when I was finishing secondary school. Humans are dangerous. Don't get me wrong, I had quite many friends as well. But even the friends often were just people who bullied me less than the others. That kind of friends. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying about all. There are always some good exceptions. There are really some good people as well, but they were real rare exceptions. And then I have seen at least 3 levels of healing which I have experienced in my life from this thing, from this luggage which I got in my childhood. First was at the age of 18, after I finished secondary school, I moved to Riga, the capital of Latvia, and entered in university for my studies. And then I experienced something really strange. For me it was like unbelievably strange and unusual. Like, you walk on the streets of Riga and nobody is trying to do you anything bad. Nobody. Well, there are always some exceptions, I'm not saying about that. But in general, like, if you don't annoy anybody and don't cause problems for anybody, they just let you go. They don't care. They don't do anything bad to you. They don't want to get something from you. They don't want to load of anger on you because you were near and you were a good victim to discharge their anger, which they have because somebody else beaten them up yesterday, and now they are looking whom to beat up today. And nobody is touching you, nobody is caring. You can go wherever you want, you're free. And it's okay. That was first surprise which I experienced, which started that healing process in me, which I couldn't believe, how is it possible? And then when I was in university, I got acquainted with my new course mates, how is it in English? Those people whom I studied together with in university. And then there was a second surprise. I noticed nobody has some negative attitude towards me in default. Like the default attitude was zero, it was neutral. Like if I did something bad or annoyed somebody, then I got a negative attitude. If I did something good towards somebody, I got a positive attitude. But if I did nothing, it was zero, it was neutral. It was nothing bad. Like I didn't have to start from a deep negative balance as I was used to be doing all my life. Like I didn't have that setting that everybody is seeing me as a donkey, as a default setting, and now try to persuade and convince them that you are not a donkey. And have luck. It's not possible usually. No matter how you try, you're still a donkey. And that was another thing which changed my life profoundly. When I saw that really life can be so simple and easy and light, that only when you do bad things yourself, then you get something negative in return. Otherwise it's neutral. What a good life this is! So that was the first thing in my late teens, early 20s in Riga. Then there was a second level. It was a bit wider about the understanding of other peoples, other nations, humanity as such. And with this I think many of you will understand me even better, because you might have the same, maybe even still have the same. You know, many people have this idea, majority of people have this idea that world is a dangerous place. Your hometown and homeland is probably a nice one, so you live there. But the other countries are dangerous. There are terrorists, there are kidnappers, there are robbers, all kinds of problems. Their culture is twisted up and wrong and bad, and they will not understand you, and they will treat you bad, and that kind of thing. Basically, I think any traveler can testify that with me, that when you listen to people what they talk about their neighboring countries, you always think that these neighboring countries are like cannibals, are some bad people, wrong people. And when you go there, you find out that the same people like that people was normal people. Everything is all right with them, but they think the same bad things about that previous country where I just was. And that was my second level of that same healing when I started to travel. And I don't mean only those recent travels which I have filmed and which you have seen in my channel, but all my travels in general. When I learned to see, and yeah, why I learned it, because I never was fond of organized tour group travel. Like, it's okay, I can do it, I'm not against it, but the biggest value in my eyes is when you travel by immersing in that local culture, by becoming one of them, doing everything what they do, eating where they eat, traveling like they travel, instead of some sterile, perfectly safe touristic environment. And because of that, I was traveling like that, immersing myself in the local culture with local people. And the more I traveled, the more I saw one interesting revelation. For me, it was a revelation. People are actually good. Yes, there are exceptions, of course, everywhere. Any law has exceptions. I'm not talking about that. Like, of course, today somebody will get robbed, somebody will get killed, somebody will get raped. And that somebody, that some occasion will be shown in the news and you will see it. And that will be your only impression about that country, probably, because you saw it in the news. Some terrorist or some whatever. But for each of those occasions when something like that happened, there are hundreds, thousands, probably hundreds of thousands or even millions of other people who at the same day didn't rob anyone, didn't steal anything, didn't kill anybody. Instead, they were smiling at you when they saw you and they say good morning to you. And maybe they even invited you in their home to drink tea with you. So that's why I'm saying, in the vast majority, people are good. And that was why my big revelation from my travels, that other nations, other countries and other cultures and even other religions, they are good. And that people in general are not to be avoided to be safe, but their company are to be enjoyed. They are good. It's the reason why we say that we are created in God's image. We are good. We are created in His image. Love has created this world, and without His love, it's impossible to understand this world. And without God's love, it's impossible to, what's the word in English, live comfortably in this world, to make yourself at home in this world. That's the word. Because it was love who created this world. Like, you can get a lot of influence and power and riches and many things, so you might have a lot of options. I'm not talking about that, but you will still have that feeling inside that you are fearful that you might lose it one day. And even when you don't lose it, you are not really at home in this world. You're kind of adapting yourself to a foreign environment, unless you live full of love, of that love which created this world, the Creator Himself. And yeah, we humans are created in His image. That's why we humans are to be loved and loving. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And a lot of these things I learned through my travels. And that big healing, that instead of running away from people and being always cautious and suspicious about all these two-legged beings who always cause troubles and problems, that I was able to turn my heart. Well, I sound very proud now. I should probably say God turned my heart around in me, because I couldn't do it myself, no way. But that it could happen, and it did happen. I'm trying to protect microphone from the wind, it's quite a lot of wind here. That all could happen through my travels and through seeing so many other peoples in other cultures and other settings, and especially through seeing that those people about whom everybody was telling me that they are dangerous, don't go there, you'll get kidnapped and killed and whatnot, those people I saw are the good ones. Well, not better than others, don't get me wrong, just I experienced how much misunderstanding there is in this world. When you think about dangerous places which are actually safer than your home. Even here, when I get to Morocco, there was one person who wrote me, "Are you in Morocco? No, that's such an unsafe and dangerous and violent country." And she lives in a country which is much more unsafe at this stage than Morocco. Yes, this is how it works. We think about everybody far away different as of something dangerous, evil and potentially harmful for us. And that's my second big healing which happened, why I could now trust people and go to people and talk to people and make friends with people, instead of what I got as my luggage from my childhood, to stay away from people because they are dangerous and evil. And if somebody who listens to me now, my friends, if that resonates to you, think about it. Maybe you too could have experience of some good deliverance and healing by being together with those people about whom everybody told you that they are dangerous, and experiencing that they have the same heart as you have, maybe even better. So yeah, that made me able to love people and trust people and be together with people. But there was one third level which I think we're dealing with now during these days in my life. What God has taken in His hands and is sorting out in my life, I think, now through this situation, why this is such a situation where I got myself into. And that's about me being able to earn my living. Connected with this difficulty, to say it softly, that fear from human beings, was also the belief which I inherited that it is only me whom I can trust to make my living, to earn my food. I can't trust anybody else anywhere, just me, myself. I have to do everything on my own. I have to take care about everything myself. Nobody will ever help me. I have to stand on my own legs. In general, of course, I have to stand on my legs, not somebody else's legs. But I had it in very crippled, painful and unhealthy way. And I think that I might be wrong. One day I might share maybe something more with you when I understand it myself. But I think that might be the reason why I am going through this experience which I am going through now. That all my previous money sources dried up at the same time, and sooner than planned. Although I was really doing my best to plan for many, like I always have not just plan B but also plan C and plan D, just to be safe. And they all dried up. And then, even then, I was trying my best like crazy to find anything I could find. Like any job, any order, anything where I could even earn €2, I would do it right away without questioning. And even that I couldn't. Even there, all doors suddenly closed just before my nose. So that I experience this situation where I do everything I can, but the more I am trying to swim, the more I'm drowning, like in a swamp where you can't swim. The more you move, the quicker you go down and drown. That kind of feeling. The more I tried, the less result I got. To experience that I can't do anything in that situation. I know that it will not be for all my life, of course. It's not meant to live like this, but I have to obviously go through this experience. And then it happened that I felt led, almost pressurized, to make that last video which I made, and then you helped me out. And what's even more paradoxical, that all these people who helped me out at that moment were people who don't even know me and whom I don't know. Even for some of them I haven't even seen a picture of them. Of you guys who are probably listening now. Thank you again. And this started some process inside of me which I still can't describe really. And I don't know if I will ever be able to properly describe it. But there is something happening and healing inside, I can tell you that. That I suddenly was caught in a situation where I couldn't take care of myself, of my own food even. And then you human beings were the ones through whom Creator carried me on your arms through this situation. Like that was one more thing which I was still carrying from my childhood, that wrong thing, wrong attitude and understanding of humans, that I only myself can take care of me and nobody else ever will, and why should they? And now I happen to experience this situation where I couldn't, but you could. And I'm so grateful for you. Also for the food which I just ate, but even more for that healing process which started through that. It's just at the beginning, I think. I'm not through it yet. I'm in the process still, and I might see more, much more than what I see now. But this is how much I kind of understand and realize already, and I thought I might share with you. And why? Because, like in general, I try to do to other people what I would like them to do to me. And then I was thinking, is if I would be donating to somebody who has such situation as I have now, I would be happy to see that it made some change and it made a difference, especially if that difference was really big difference, as it was in my life. And then I thought, yeah, that's maybe something I can share with you, and you friends really deserve to hear it. Through you it was made possible, and I think that you deserve to hear it. Thank you so much, my friends. Thank you for being. And thank you for letting Creator to do his often amazing works which he does in our lives, which I experience now in this shape and form. Thank you, my friends. Have a very good day or night or morning or whatever you have now when you're watching. And I often remember about you and I often pray about you, so that you might be led in all the best possible ways and that you might have the best possible success and luck on every step you are taking in your lives. Thank you, my friends, again. All the best.